Yeah, I remember when my father passed away. He's in a box over in Mark Studio, actually. But we used to take the remains down on the skyscrapers down there in Tampa, the big downtown buildings, and we'd have a memorial service for them and then dump the remains over the side. Because the people down there didn't like it. But we quit doing that because the last time we did it, the police came up and says, "We don't mind you dumping the remains over the side of the building. It's just that, would you please cremate them first?" Why did a cowboy get a wiener dog? Because somebody told him to get a long little doggy. Yeah, God made Adam and Eve, and they were out swimming one day. And Eve jumps in the water, and Adam looks at her and goes, "Great, we'll never get that smell out of the fish." Yeah, when Adam woke up in the Garden of Eden, and he saw Eve sitting there, he looked at God and goes, "God, you're ribbing me." Yeah, a friend of mine was talking to me. He says, "Why do you think all these different colored people come into the world? You know, black people and yellow Chinese and red men." He says, "How do you think all these different people, different types of people got here, you know, through all the time and everything?" And I said, "Well, I know exactly where they started." And he goes, "How do you know that?" I said, "Because if you go to some of these caves," I said, "I can show you exactly where God spray painted them all. You can see the handprints on the wall." Stick around. We got some more vines coming. Look now, I'm seeing little green men. Suckers. This is my step ladder. Never really hung out with my real ladder much, but he's on his 12-step program, one step at a time. I finally found out the one thing you could say to a woman. It'll be the last thing you can say to her for the night, and she'll be yours. She'll melt in your arms. Does this smell like chloroform to you? Hey, just hanging out with my negras. Hi, here at Useless Industries, we came up with an answer to the age-old problem of what do you do with smudges on your glasses. You put your glasses on and, wow, fingerprints all over it. You can't wipe it off with anything. You're afraid to scratch your lenses. Here at Useless Industries, we got rid of those pesky lenses. You don't have to worry about fingerprints, but yet get to put it on and still keep the sophisticated look of a fine business person. Well, these bums are hanging out on top of one of these really tall skyscrapers one day. And one of them says, "Oh man, it sure is windy up here." And he goes, "Yeah." He says, and they're sitting there drinking their stuff, you know, because they're a bunch of alkies. And one of them says, "You want to see a cool trick?" And he says, "Watch this." See the wind, and he throws some paper outside of the skyscraper. And the wind blows the paper up past him and up in the air, and off it goes. And the guy goes, "Well, that's kind of neat, but it's not that big of a deal." He goes, "Yeah, you want to see something really cool?" He stands on the edge of the skyscraper, leaps right off. And then the guy's like in shock, just looking at him like, and the guy floats right back up in the wind currents and goes boom and lands. And this is pretty as you can be, right on the side of the skyscraper. So the guy's like, "Wow, how'd you do that?" And he goes, "Wind currents are here so strong they push you right back up. Watch." He jumps off again and right back up and on the edge of the skyscraper. The other guy goes, "That is so cool." And the other guy says, "Yeah." He says, "You want to try it?" He says, "Make sure you hold your arms out so the wind catches you good though." He says, "But just jump off." So the guy gets up there, you know, he's drunk. Jumps off, all the way to the bottom, oh, damn it, boom, hits the cement, splatters all over the place. The doorman downstairs of the skyscraper looks up and goes, "Damn it, Superman's playing with the drunks again." Guy's out there in Spain, where they had the bullfights. And he's sitting there at a restaurant, and he's smelling this really good smelling food. He's like, "What the heck is that stuff?" And he's looking around, and all of a sudden he sees this plate come out, and it says these two big old pieces of flattened out, like a hamburger patty in it, and these couples sitting there and they're eating it, and the smell is just, it's overtaking him. He's like, "I love the smell." He says, "What is that?" He calls the maitre d' over, and the guy says, "Oh, it's from the bullfight." He says, "After every bull, when they had the fight, we cut the bull's balls off and have his mountain oysters, y'all call it." He says, "And we cook it up in a sauteed white wine and this and that." But the guy goes, "I gotta have some of that." He goes, "Oh, we only get one a day. From the bullfight, we get one a day. When the bull loses, and when every time the bull loses, we only get one set of balls." He says, "And it's back ordered." The guy says, "Well, what? Well, can you write me down to put me up for the next order when it's open?" He goes, "Okay, a couple of days from now, blah blah blah." So the guy gets an order, and he's just sitting there the whole time enjoying the smell of this. It's really good tasting. I mean, it's smelling. So his day comes. He gets there, and he's all happy, and he's sitting there, and he's thinking, yeah, I'm the only guy getting this right now because, it's only one set of balls a day from the fight. And he gets it, and the guy comes out with a plate and lays it down, and he gets this little pieces of meat like this, and he's eating it, and he's like, this is really good, but last time I remembered seeing this come out on a plate, it was really big pieces of the bull balls on the plate, really big. He goes, well, the reason why yours are smaller, today the bull won. Would you look at someone filled your head up with salt and pepper? Over in India or wherever, Africa, wherever they use elephants for traffic, I can see there's a 6-elephant pileup over in Gunja Street. This golfer is out, and he goes to China, the golf, the American Pro thing or whatever it is, and he comes into the place, and they're really wanting to give him a good treatment because it's an American thing, they're spending millions of dollars there on this pro golfing meet. And they put him up in a motel room with a beautiful geisha. And he's like, he says, what is she for? He goes, anything you want to do. She's yours for the night. So he's like, oh, okay. So, he gets a rub down and everything else and has a nice time with her. And they start to do a little love making. And the whole time he's banging away on it, she's going, ching, ching, lao, ching, ching, lao. And he's like, what the heck does that mean? She's, ching, ching, lao, ching, ching, lao. He's like, okay, whatever, but he just keeps on going all night. He's having a good time. Well, the next day, he goes out golfing, and he's sitting there golfing. He knocks the ball, and it goes right towards the hole, veers off to the right, and goes right down, and goes bloop right into the lake. And the guy goes, ching, ching, lao. And the guy looks at him and goes, I heard that from the girl last night, all night long. What does that mean? He goes, you American, it means wrong hole. Here at Needful Things, we sell anything. Say you got a song, and it only plays half of it. It plays Mary Had, Mary Had, Mary Had, because you only bought half a record. We have the other half, Little Lamb. Put it together right now for a price of just half off. We'll give you a pre-chewed piece of bubblegum so you can put them together. Yeah, there's this crew sitting outside having lunch, construction crew. And these young guys are sitting there, and this one big young guy who's sitting there telling these guys, yeah, and then I banged this girl, and then I was screwing this girl, and then blah, 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 and then later on screwing that girl, and then he's talking about weeks later on, I was banging these girls over here, and I had, every time you turn around, he's talking about all these girls are screwing. And this old man sitting on the side, he's getting about sick of hearing it. And finally, one of the younger guys go, dang, Jake, you must have screwed a ton of women. He goes, well, besides my mother and my sister, I about screwed every woman in this town. The old man looks at him and goes, well, heck, son, in between the both of us, we got them all. That's where I'm at now. Yeah, this old bald guy sitting inside of a barber shop. He's getting a shave, and what little hair he has on the side trimmed. And this Italian guy walks up with all his little cronies beside him, and he's going, he rubs the top of the man's head, and he goes, hey, boys, it feels just like on my wife's ass. And the old bald guy goes, you're right. Two guys, friends, are walking along, and he said, I want to show you something out here on the beach. He goes, what? And he's walking down the beach with him. He goes, look what your son did right here. He goes, what? And he goes, he peed my daughter's name in the sand. And he goes, have you ever peed on your girlfriend's name or something in the sand when you was young? He goes, yeah, but it's in my daughter's handwriting. Guy's wife goes to the gynecologist. So she comes back, his husband says, how did it go? And he says, the gynecologist looked at me and says, you have the breast of a 16-year-old girl. The husband's like, wow, okay, what else did he say? And she goes, well, he says that I have the skin of a 20-year-old. He goes, really? And she says, yeah. And he said I had one of the nicest bodies on an elderly woman he's ever seen. And he goes, really? Do you say anything about that big ass you got? And she goes, no, your name never came up. I think I had too much to drink. I'm starting to see pink elephants with polka dots. In-house arrest. got a new thing to answer to in-house arrest. Back in the old days, they put a millstone around your neck and you drag that around for the rest of your life for months or whatever they decided to hit you with. Now, instead of putting a simple little ankle bracelet around you, we can sneak out into a car and still go down the road, get drunk, and still go drunk driving until a cop gets you. You're hitting other people, endangering other lives. Here is cheaper. Just a few dollars per person. Can go down to a junkyard and they handcuff your ass to one of these. It'll be impossible to get into your neighbor's car, your car, or anything else, go driving in. Can't even get through the barroom doors to get a beer. It'll keep your ass at home. So remember, don't drink and drive. And if you send now, not only will you get the smudge-proof glasses, but we'll send you an extra pair of useless piece of crap for money. You can have them sitting around for years of enjoyment, sitting in your drawer that you'll never ever use again. Or wind up filling up things in your yard sale. So this way it looks like you got stuff to sell. So order now and get your useless pair of glasses.